What is up guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'll tell you the top 5 brawlers that are underrated in Brawl Stars right now. Now my old video has the same concept, but instead of doing the top 10 most underrated in just one video, I decided to split it into two parts, so this will be kind of like the second part or the first one, it doesn't really matter. Just watch whatever you want, and yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Now the first brawler we're going to be talking about is Max. Max is such an amazing brawler. I don't know why people don't play Max that much, but I do know the reason why he's not used regularly, and the reason is because Max just doesn't do enough damage compared to the other new brawlers that are coming out. Like, look at the new brawler that came out. The crab brawler that just came out, he's like a long range combined with a close range, basically a shotgun while being a sniper, which is really OP. Yes, you need to charge his stages, but he is very OP. Now, as I said, the reason Max isn't meta is because of her damage, but because of Max's super, it makes her really good. And the reason I think Max is really good is because she got that hypercharge, which is just extremely good, and combined with some combos, she can be amazing. Now, if you wonder what Max hypercharge does, it makes it able for everyone to get your super without them having to stand in your super area. Basically, your teammates can get her super anywhere on the map, so they can be standing anywhere and they'll get their super. And to add to that, your teammates will also get their super 25% extra, and that is extremely good. Now, another thing Max can do is gain area control, but that is only sometimes, and the reason is because if your teammates aren't using the super to their advantage, then it can become useless. Like, if you give them the super and then they just like stand still, then that's not gonna do anything. Or if they're like running in random directions, then they're not thinking about strategy, they're just doing random stuff that randoms do. Now, the best example which I can give where you can gain a lot of area control is either knockout or bounty. And the reasons are because you can just easily dodge the enemy's bullets, and when they waste their ammo, you can just go ahead and start rushing them, which will make them go back. And when they go back, you'll have a lot of area control. And if your randoms are smart, you won't lose the area control and you are more likely to win. Now, another thing that I think makes Max underrated is how much control she can have in Brawl Ball. Now, the control that Max can have in Brawl Ball is insane, and what I mean by this is if you have your hypercharge and you have two tanks on the team, oh boy, it's game over for the other team if they do not know what they're doing. If they don't have like a Gale or Surge or Colette or some counter to like tanks, your hypercharge will make everyone super fast and it'll be an easy goal. Combining with Jackie's gadget and also her hypercharge is just an easy goal. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for Max, and now let's go to the next brawler. Now the next brawler is Sprout. Now hear me out on this. Sprout's hypercharge is actually amazing, and it's only for one reason. It is because of heist. I've been using Sprout in heist to sometimes just counter the enemy team depending on what map it is in heist. But Sprout is just an amazing brawler, even just for area control. I have been using Sprout more and more in heist because 1, no one picks him. 2, the brawlers the enemy pick are usually low HP brawlers. Think about it. It's usually either like Colette, Crow, Piper, Mandy, and just low HP brawlers. So you can kill them in 2 to 3 shots, which is pretty easy. And to add to that, it's easier to hit Sprout's attack because when his base attack explodes, there is an area effect, which makes your targets really easy to hit. I don't know if that made sense, but yeah. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by how his hypercharge can be good in heist, and that is because his hypercharge does so much damage to the heist. And how it works is you activate your hypercharge and throw the hypercharge on the heist. And it gets even better. Now, you guys know if you throw your hypercharge on the safe, then it deals a lot of damage. Now, if you take back your super with your gadget and throw it again, it is still in the hypercharge form, which will basically mean that it's going to do a lot more damage to the heist. It's like getting 2 supers or 2 hypercharge supers on the safe. But that won't work, and Brawl Stars thought of that, I think, or I don't know if it's a bug, but basically when you throw your hypercharge again, there's gonna be no extra damage. So what you want to do is throw the first hypercharge a bit to the left, and then you get your super back, and then you throw your second hypercharge a bit to the right, and that does a lot more damage with your hypercharge. I just basically explained that you do double the amount of damage because 2 is better than 1. But other than that, Sprout's hypercharge is garbage in any other mode. Like, it is doo-doo. You do not want to use it. So he's only really good in heist, and that's the reason I think he's a bit underrated, because I do not see anyone playing Sprout in heist, even though he is such a good brawler for heist. And yeah, let's go to the next brawler. Now the next brawler is RT. Tell me why I do not see people using RT for long range maps. Now, RT is such a good brawler if you combine RT with like Piper and Mandy, because first of all, Mandy does a lot of damage, same goes for Piper. Combine that with RT, they do double the amount of damage, which is really good. Now, second of all, I always see people complaining about skills for brawlers. They always say, oh, this brawler is no skill, this brawler is no skill, and this brawler is no skill. And they're the type of people that play those brawlers. Like, just go play like good brawlers like RT if you want skill or something, or Stu. Like, I don't know. Like, at this point, you're gonna say every brawler is no skill. But what I'm trying to say is RT is such a good brawler, and I do not see anyone playing him, which I find very weird, even though he's such an amazing brawler to play in like Bounty or Knockout, or even... yeah, that's it. Now that I thought about it, he actually might be also good in Gem Grab. And Solo Showdown. And Hot Zone. Possibly Hot Zone. I don't know about Hot Zone. Now, the only reason I'm saying this is because of his super. That super can be extremely good. And that is because a lot of Gem Grab maps or Hot Zone maps have a lot of walls, which you can protect yourself from and use to your advantage. Oh yeah, also another thing that RT is really good at is keeping area control. I completely forgot about this. I just reminded myself because of my notes that I wrote. But basically, RT's base attack puts a mark on the enemy team. And basically what this does is it makes the team back off and for you to get a lot more area control. And yeah, now let's go to the next brawler. And the next brawler is Spike. Now, I know some of you are gonna say, oh, Spike isn't underrated. Now, that is kind of true, but I think Spike just fell off. For some reason, I don't know why Spike isn't getting picked anymore. Like, if you guys remember the old ranked, he was basically an NPC pick for every random. When a random had to pick a brawler, it didn't matter what map it was, they would instantly just pick Spike for no reason. It'd always just be Spike, and people would usually just ban Spike back in the day. And they didn't really like nerf him. I don't think he has any nerfs or got any nerfs, except his legendary gear. I just don't see him as much as before. It's like the randoms found out that Spike isn't their only option to pick in ranked. Now, I don't know if I have to say the reason why Spike is good, but he is just good in general. He is really good, and also he has a really good legendary gear, which slows down the enemy even more when they are on his super. Also, Spike gives you a lot of area control, so you can have a lot of control of the map if you're playing Spike correctly. Now, I know one of you is going straight to the comments and is writing a whole paragraph why Spike is not underrated right now, but just listen to me for a bit. Just hear me out. I have been playing a lot of ranked recently, and I haven't been seeing any Spike picks. Now, in free, that might be a whole different story. So, if he is used a lot in free, that is my bad. And yeah, with that, let's go to the next brawler. Now, the next brawler is the angriest brawler of them all, which is Mr. P. Now, the reason why Mr. P is probably mad is because you guys are not playing him at all. Now, the only problem that I can see that Mr. P has is his damage, which he doesn't do that much damage, but if you play him in the long range maps, he is really good because he can counter the low HP brawlers, since he doesn't do a lot of damage up close. But the thing that makes Mr. P really good is his super, as a super can give you a lot of useful opportunities, like your enemy team having to see your robot penguins for the 10th million time, making them want to uninstall the game and never play Brawl Stars again. Now, all jokes aside, but the reason why Mr. P's super is really good is because you can gain a lot of map control. And the reason is because the enemy team has to keep on wasting their ammo to kill those robot penguins, which will give you an easier time to be able to push the enemy. And when you do that, they keep on going back and back, which gives you a lot of area control. Now, another reason you know why Mr. P is good is because his attack goes over the wall, which is really good to counter throwers. Now, you know, if the enemy team pulls a dynamite card and goes dynamite, you know that team is going to be a 2v1. Sorry, 2v3. It's going to be 3 of your teammates if your randoms are actually good versus 2 people, because that dynamite is going to be on another universe while playing Brawl Stars at the time. So he will be most likely not be using his brain cells at all. So if you play Mr. P, it will be really easy to counter him. Nah, but all jokes aside, Mr. P is really good to counter against throwers. First of all, that gadget, it will make them have to kill the robot penguin. And also, as I said, they'll have to go a lot more back because they don't want to get hit by your attack. Now, I know that was the 5th brawler, but I just gotta add this one since I don't think I'm gonna make this topic for a while. And the last underrated brawler is Griff. Now, Griff is such an amazing brawler to counter tanks. He is a tank killer, and for some reason people don't use him. He is extremely good, and his gadget can provide a lot of useful plays to just destroy walls and give you a lot of area control to either stop the throwers from attacking or hiding behind the walls, or having those annoying pesky tanks camp in the bushes, wait until you get 10 gems, and then pop out of the bush and kill you. So yeah, that's why Griff is really good. I know I'm kind of speed running this stuff for Griff, but yeah. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. And if you like my content, subscribe. Now have a good day, and now it's time for the outro.